Hello everyone, welcome to another video. This is Music by Philip, and today we are going to see how I made the lead of the song that I showed you in the previous video. It's a future-based track and I made a really nice lead. I will also try to give other alternatives in terms of plugins because I used some paid plugins and you guys probably don't have those plugins. Maybe you have, maybe you don't have, I don't know. So I will try to find some alternatives, stock plugins within FL Studio so you can get the same effect. Now, let's just take a quick listen to this drop and see how the lead sounds. Beautiful. As you can see, I have here my lead rendered because of CPU problems. I had to render the lead and the chords as well. I have here 3 leads, but this was trial and errors until I got the perfect lead sound. So we can just delete these ones, don't matter. So this is the one that we got right now, and let's take a quick listen. That's how it sounds. So you guys might be wondering, Philip, you probably used the guitar sound or something like that and you put some heavy distortion. Well, the heavy distortion part is correct, but I didn't use any guitars. You know what this is? This is a violin sound. And let me show you. This sound was consolidated from this pattern, okay? And here we have our lead sound. It's actually all strings sustained preset from Essential Strings pack, and this is Flex. And then in terms of processing, okay, let me start from scratch. Let me disable this one. Let me put a fruity convolver here. All right, so you go to presets and you choose blur pink, and then what you do, click here one time, the fade out button, and you get something like this. And then what I did, I cut this wave like this, something like this, I'm not sure, but it was something like this. Click delete on your keyboard. Oh, don't click delete. Click here on this scissors button, click cut, there you go. They're quite different. I think what I did was this. Let me cut again. And then I think I normalized. Yeah, then I normalized. Something like this. Yeah. Now they are almost identical. So this is what I did, and then put the dry knob all the way up. I mean, for this sound, I didn't put all the way up. I put it to 50%. And this is where the sound loses a lot of power and the sound gets this really, really nice reverb. This reverb is very key to make that emotional and dreamy vibe to your future bass tracks. So let's start with the dry all the way up. Now we will slowly decrease the dry knob. As you can see, loses a lot of volume, a lot of power, and the sound gets pushed back in the mix. So I decided to put the dry at 50%, something like that. And then the wet I just pushed a little bit like this. And that's the sound we get. You have a really, really nice reverb right here. There you go, Fruity Convolver. Very few people use this plugin and underestimates this plugin, but this plugin is very, very powerful, very good. You can do a lot of crazy stuff with this plugin, especially if you're into ambient sounds, ambient sound design, something like that. This will help you a lot. So at this stage, I kind of have the vibe that I desired. the type of dreamy, reverby type of sound. But I kind of missed the distortion, the future-based distortion, the aggressive sounds like Illenium type drops. Illenium leads are usually very distorted. So that's why I used Saturn 2. Let's enable Saturn 2. Let's disable. There you go. And you have a huge tail because of the Saturn 2. Doesn't sound good, but we can work around that. Just create an automation clip, like go here, create an automation clip and turn the mix down when the sound stops. That's what I actually did right here. FabFilter Saturn mix level, it turns down. Very simple. Then some EQ. Let's hear how it looks, how it sounds. To remove those, okay, I have to stop. The EQ is removing those nasty lower frequencies that the Saturn is creating, and to remove some higher frequencies that we just don't need. This is removing some resonance. And Camel Crusher to compress the sound and to gain more power. I have to wait for this tail to end so I can speak. And that's how you do your lead, your future-based lead. So how we can create the same sound but using different plugins. The only plugins that are third party here is FabFilter Saturn 2, Pro Q3 and Camel Crusher. But Camel Crusher is free, so I will not replace Camel Crusher. I will only replace FabFilter Pro Q3. And I will tell you right away how you can replace the FabFilter Pro Q3. Just go to this frequency and just literally use Fruity Parametric EQ2 and do this. I mean, it will not be the dynamic thing, but that's what you have. And there is some tutorials out there that explain you how to make this dynamic, how to make the stock FL Studio EQ dynamic. I think you have to use Patcher or something like that. I don't know. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's how you replace the FabFilter Pro Q3. Then you have the FabFilter Saturn 2. A good plugin to replace Saturn 2 will be the hardcore thing. Yeah, hardcore. There you go. Just turn off your noise gate, your chorus, your delay, and just mess around with your distortion. Wow. This is very, very, very crazy. Just put your EQ, try to put your EQ normal, something like that. And once again, let me try to see the mix knob. There's no mix knob, I believe. That's it. I think you will have to play around with some presets, play around with this cabinet thing, play around with this EQ, and you might need to have different EQs than these ones, so you can like delete some of the nasty frequencies that the hardcore is producing, but you will get a very similar outcome with hardcore. So hardcore is our winner to replace FabFilter Saturn 2. So that's how you make your future-based lead. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you learned something interesting today, and I hope I inspired you to make some new leads. or to make something new. And that's it, guys. See you in another video. God bless you all.